In this thrilling conclusion, love triumphs as Tom comes to Libby's rescue, paving the way for a bold escape and the promise of a new life fighting for women's rights. Get ready, lovelies, for a finale that will leave you weak in the knees and yearning for more. Chapter 11. A Daring Escape.
Unhand her, you scoundrel.
Tom's voice rang out, filled with righteous fury. Charles whirled around, his grip on Libby loosening for a moment. Seizing the opportunity, Libby tried to pull away, but Charles's hand shot out, grabbing her arm.
Not so fast,
he hissed, his eyes narrowing.
You're coming with me.
Tom charged forward, his muscles rippling beneath his shirt.
I said unhand her.
He reached out, trying to pry Libby free from Charles's grasp. The men grappled, their movements growing more frantic. Libby felt herself being jostled between them, her ankle twisting painfully as she lost her footing.
Ah!
She cried out, collapsing to the ground. Tom and Charles both froze, their attention snapping to Libby. Tom was at her side in an instant, his face etched with concern.
Libby, are you all right?
He asked, gently examining her injured ankle. Libby winced, tears of pain and fear streaking down her cheeks.
I think it's sprained,
she managed to choke out. Rage flashed in Tom's eyes as he turned to Charles.
You scoundrel, look what you've done.
Charles took a step back, his expression shifting from triumph to alarm.
It's not my fault she's so clumsy,
he sputtered. Tom surged forward, his fist connecting with Charles's jaw with a sickening crack. The younger man stumbled, his hand flying to his face.
You'll pay for this, O'Brien,
Charles snarled, pulling a gleaming knife from his coat. Libby's heart pounded in her chest as she watched the two men grapple, their movements a blur of fists and steel. Just when it seemed Charles might gain the upper hand, Tom managed to knock the knife from his grasp. With a final desperate shove, Tom sent Charles tumbling to the ground. The would-be suitor scrambled to his feet, his eyes wild with fury.
This isn't over,
he spat, before turning and fleeing into the night. Tom stood there panting, his shirt torn and bloodied from the fight. But his focus was solely on Libby, who lay curled on the ground, cradling her injured ankle. Carefully, Tom knelt beside her, gathering her into his strong arms.
Libby, my love,
he murmured, his voice thick with emotion.
Can you walk?
Libby shook her head, wincing as she tried to put weight on her foot.
No, I don't think so.
Without another word, Tom lifted her, cradling her against his chest. Libby instinctively wrapped her arms around his neck, her heart swelling with a mix of gratitude and something deeper. A love she had been too afraid to acknowledge until now. As Tom carried her towards the manor, Libby caught a glimpse of movement in one of the upstairs windows. There, peering out with a mix of alarm and understanding, was her mother. In that moment, a daring plan began to form in Libby's mind. She pressed a soft kiss to Tom's cheek, savouring the feel of his skin beneath her lips.
Tom,
she whispered,
take me away from here. I want to go with you to the suffragette rally in Boston.
Tom's steps faltered, his eyes widening with surprise.
Libby, are you sure?
She nodded, her gaze steady and resolute.
I've never been more certain of anything in my life. This is my chance to fight for what I believe in, and I want you by my side.
A slow smile spread across Tom's face, and Libby knew in that instant that he would follow her to the ends of the earth. As they approached the manor, Libby saw her mother's silhouette in the window, watching their every move. She held Tom's gaze, silently pleading with him to trust her. Comprehension dawned on Tom's features, and he nodded imperceptibly. Adjusting his hold on Libby, he carried her around to the stables where their daring escape awaited.